Welcome back. Any reflection? Anyone?
So,
Yes, Anjali.
sir, if I want to achieve the state of flow, then one must focus on changing their physical environment. That is P1. Am I right?
No. No. That you are talking about the modification of action. Just looking at this fact of natural order brings all the difference. No initiative is needed. If I want whatsoever it is a P3, P2 loop. Wanting doesn't work. If you want to attain this, you can never attain this. Want works in P3, P2 loop because it is a preset goal that one feeds oneself. So it works as desire. It works as choice. Different names we operate at, but it's actually the same framework, It's the P3 that we are concluding at the level of body, which is P2, sensation. And I'm running behind it. And for that reason, these stories of salvation, all these things happen, the point of enlightenment, that this method will lead you to enlightenment. These all story have started with that, modifying an action. And so modification of action will happen as emergence, not as a product of plan.
So we should not decide anything in our lives.
Actually, we need to understand what is should and should not, how it operates at. Now, decision may appear to be happening in life. Try and understand depth of it. Let's not conclude at the face of it, but let's try and understand that how the P1 happens. The P1 is an emergence, natural emergence. Action. P1 is action, right?
Right.
Now, if you are alive, that means you are operating with a bundle of energy. Energy, you remember the physics explanation of energy, capacity to work. It is measured with the unit of work. You remember the work?
Yes.
Work is actually the product of force and distance. You remember? Work is a product of force and distance.
Yes.
And force is a factor which has got mass and acceleration.
Yes.
Force is a factor of mass and acceleration. So mass can be considered as fixed. Now, in this whole operation, the distance is also fixed. In this whole operation, acceleration is changing. And what is basically acceleration? Acceleration is movement. So work means there has to be some movement. Without movement, work cannot happen, and energy is manifested in form of work. So action means movement, which is very much obvious if there is energy. So if somebody argues, because this is a very common argument, that without obsession, how one can act. Now the counter argument could be a proposal, can one be alive and not act? Ever?
No.
Is it possible? One will end up acting.
Yes.
Just that the action is not according to a predefined condition here. and
Yes.
see the energy of it. When you are operating with a bundle of energy versus when you are operating with a compromised energy under a lot of conditions, psychologically, you will be operating at a low energy. So the performance, what you are considering as an action, that will be obviously low.
True.
So can we explore the aspect of action that way? Whenever we are planning for an action psychologically, this must be understood. Psychological planning means there is an attachment towards the outcome of it.
And sometimes it may look like there is more energy when we have planned and we are doing something, but that's stimulated,
Yes.
heightening energy, but that's overall depleting us.
Yes, that's an actually we extract energy from other areas of life. We ignore the importance of those areas, and we actually ये क्या करते हैं, हम लोग छोंक देते हैं पूरा एनर्जी को उसी पे, बाकी सारा कंप्रोमाइज्ड हो गया, टॉक्सिमिया चलता ही रहा अंदर. Are you able to comprehend?
Yes.
So energy operation, what Shilpi has brought in, that's also another important aspect, that sometime we may feel over energetic with a plan, but that's
Yes.
an impact of stimulation. Stimulated, it's a just coffee effect, you know. You are tired, your body is indicating to take rest, but you are overcoming that with coffee. How it happens? Coffee is a toxic, caffeine is toxic element. The moment toxin is introduced in the body is alerted to act on the toxin for its detoxification. So it comes at the forefront, and we, as a byproduct, we sense an over energy. It's actually has come to address the toxin, which is the high toxin. When it is introduced, the body is alerted that some war kind of situation, that I have to just throw this toxin. This is spoiling my system. So I get a pseudo sense of energy. So that's called stimulation. You know, the stimulation operates that way.
So when somebody is having rice and having a kind of sense of tiredness and sleepy, so rice is also a toxin in that way. So
Yeah, it is
what
the
is the difference?
toxicity. The toxicity is not too high to create an alert. Body manages with the sleep and normal tiredness. It is not exciting. So that's why the alcoholic substance, drugs, caffeine, these all are high toxin, you know, and that alert the body as an emergency. And as a byproduct, we feel energetic during that time.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes, yes,
Sir, can you hear me?
yes,
Hello.
yes, Prajakta.
हाँ sir, we say purpose in life is unnatural, right?
Yes, it's a P3P2 loop.
So how to decide our career path? मतलब आगे कैसे जाएंगे career path choose करने में? मतलब हम
This
लोग
term-
purpose ढूंढते हैं और उसके बाद career
हाँ जी, हाँ जी. तो इसको
Yes.
थोड़ा समझने की कोशिश करते हैं. This is very crucial, and for youngsters this is a common question. Then how to understand the career in this framework. So see, the career concept, to begin with, the career concept is very much human concept. In this planet, on this planet, actually there are millions of species. Nobody is concerned about the career. Nobody is worried, as human beings are worried, for their survival. This is a pseudo worry. because in nature, the survival is not a constraint. It is not a constraint. Now, on the name of carrier, to have our survival, we end up running behind a dream. The survival becomes a backseat. Is there anyone who is doing a job, suppose gets a 5 lakhs rupees per month salary? Is there any person in that strata going and saying to the authority of the company that, okay, from next month I'll take 4 lakhs because I don't need 5 lakh. Actually, I don't need 5 lakh. 4 lakh is good enough for my survival. Why so? Because of the conditioning. Because of the conditioning, we start getting confused with the survival and the want and desire. The carrier is desire driven. It is never survival driven whatsoever. Now, the engagement of life, we can discuss about the engagement of life and the validity of it. Now, if the engagement of life comes as an emergence, unplanned engagement, then the rest assured, the survival will be confirmed through that engagement. That's a life. That's the pattern of life in nature. It is not confined to mankind only. In nature, every species lead a life as an emergence. As an emergence, they lead a life, and they, as an emergence, they get. I see when we play with we term that as a play, but when we spend some time with the cat, there's a few wild cat that comes. I and my daughter play with them, like stay some time with them. So they are just waiting in the garden. Sometimes they get a butterfly, they catch it and eat it. So it's not a very planned movement, but they are very much attentive, and trying to figure out that, okay, can I eat this? Can I eat that? So they are operating in that primary survival mode, and they get it. They get it. So there we used to discuss also. Sometimes what happens, Mumtaz, my daughter, she wants to facilitate the cat to get the butterfly, because she started considering it is love towards the cat. Then we discuss and explore that, do you think about the butterfly? What are you doing with the butterfly? If you facilitate the cat to catch, let them catch on their own. So you see the difference between the planning and the emergence? The cat might be ending up catching the same butterfly, which is the carrier attachment, carrier engagement for the cat. But the moment we plan it, we become blind about the fact of the butterfly, that I am doing a torture towards the butterfly. You see this? So this kind of concern of carrier is very human. And that itself is the first loop of P3, P2. You want to reflect?
Yes, sir, got it.
सर सपोज फ्रूटेरियन वाला एग्जांपल हम लेते हैं तो in P3 there is an imagination कि
आपका आवाज नहीं आ रहा है बेटा आप ना वीडियो बंद कर दो आई थिंक दैट विल कंजर्व सम बैंडविड्थ Anjali, if you can pause your video. Yes, now tell.
सर आवाज आ रहा है मेरा?
अभी आ रहा है
सर सपोज P3 में there are two things, imagination and assumption.
Yes.
ठीक है. फिर we are taking example of fruitarian. तो imagination में हम बोल रहे हैं कि सब लोग कर रहे हैं तो I also want to do it. तो that is an imagination. And
Yes.
assumption में ये हो जाएगा कि fruitarian diet से मतलब I will achieve best
Yes.
health or the
Yes.
true health.
Yes.
या
yes.
फिर
Beautiful.
है ना.
Yes.
So this is P3 cycle and P3 से P2 आएगा and then P1 आएगा. So this is unnatural loop, right?
Yes. Yes.
But
Conflicting loop.
what if I change the P1? I'm not focusing on any imagination and assumption. I'm just focusing on bringing the fruits and keeping in front of my eyes and in around my environment. I'm changing my environment.
Yeah, so there
That
could
is
be a perceptory movement. There could be a perceptory movement. You are hungry at the first place because the eating is driven by the hunger, nothing else, right? So
Yes.
that's a primary physiological sensation, the hunger. So you are sensing hunger, and now you are provisioned with a different option in front of you. Now you are inquisitive. What can I eat? What can I eat? Because I am hungry. So I can eat only tasty things. I can eat only tasty things. Okay.
Yes.
This piece of bread, can I eat? From where it has come? It has come from a factory. What is there inside? There's wheat, actually. Wheat, can I eat? No, I cannot.
No.
Okay, there is an orange. From where it has come? It has come from a factory. Factory? Okay, not warehouse. Warehouse, that means ultimately from where it has come. It has come from a tree. Okay, tree.
Yes.
Tree means it is an emergence. The taste is original then. Taste is not morphed. Okay, let me taste it. So I take a bite. It is tasty. I can continue it. There is a stone piece next to it. From where it has come? It is from nature. It was just lying. Okay, the taste is not modified. Yes, no modified. No, it is not modified. Okay, let me taste it. It is bad in taste. I cannot eat. So I throw it. There is a chili. The same goes with the chili. Chili is from tree. So it is natural. Yes. Okay, take a bite. I cannot. So I throw it. So this way, every time if we are inquisitive, then by default I am eating fruits, but I am not proud to be fruitarian anymore. You know, so fruitarian could be a stigma, could be a groupism, that it's a group of fruitarian. So we feel pride of being in a group of fruitarian. All this P3, P2, you see? There's an image that we create and we just in that imaginary world, feeling good about it. All is well, all is well. There is a movie, no? All is well. It's a bluffing the heart.
Yes, suppose we have to decide a career, but again we are not taking any assumption and we are not imagining anything. So we are just focusing on our environment. P1, like what books do I have? What kind of environment I have? What things I can do? What
Some disturbance. Projector side. Just a second. No, projector. I'm muting. I've muted you. कुछ disturbance आ रहा था आपसे. हाँ, Anjali, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. Sir, what? Where was I?
You were saying that you have to decide a career.
So, sir, like we are not assuming any. We are not taking any assumption. P3, not we don't have any imagination for any, like, for path, right? Now we are focusing on P1, the environment we have, the physical environment we are living or we are surrounding. So in day-to-day lives, we are considering the situation, which subjects we are enjoying studying, and what things am I loving to do, right? Or in what way I should go with this.
Yeah, should and should not, we cannot discuss, first of all, but we can discuss the validity of it. Ram wants to share something, I think.
Yeah, so similar thing, like you know, possibly like how the career, you know, whatever we do, that, you know, you explain clearly around the stone, fruit, and then the wheat, all of that, right? So you kind of start with action and then end with P3 about that whole situation, right? Similar way, how that you know, a career or anything, right? You know, you reveal how that progression will be from action to you know, okay, this is something you are doing, kind of.
Yeah. So can we explore the final product of our association? Whether
No.
the final, can we explore? See, normally what happens in a conventional setup, the carrier is weighed by its package. How much?
No,
is
so
the- yeah.
let's skip this career if that is attached with the package, all that. So whatever you as a Kalyan doing of, you know, like this inquiry session, or could be science of healing, whatever you kind of spend your weekends or weekdays sessions, all of that, consider this journey of yours, right? So how you landed in explaining P1, P2, P3 cycle, because you keep doing this, may not be, you're not attaching money to it, but you keep doing this. Probably if I use, you know, like lots of words, you like doing this, may not be want, you continue doing it, right? So there could be some, I don't know, intention is not there, like, you know, this awareness should go to people. So how this is happening to you, how you put this into P1, P2, P3?
Yeah. So perhaps there is no difference between doing a workshop and suppose talking to a gardener or any person with Kalyan, maybe. There's no difference between the tonality or intention of going deeper, irrespective of the surrounding, is one thing that that is perhaps an experience. Are you able to comprehend this? So it's not that this workshop is a special moment. Workshop.
So
is,
as far the
yeah,
concern, you still stay at P1. You are just sharing whatever your awareness, and then we are inquiring together on different topics, right?
yeah.
This is an action. But
Yes.
what is your P2, P3 related to this action? Why you repeat it?
Yes, because see, when we converse, when we interact with the environment, we get the clue from the environment, because our capacity is very limited of perceiving truth, exploring truth. Now, each question that we get that are evolving in this workshop or otherwise also, because there's no difference between this workshop and spending time with Muntaj or spending time with the cat. So there is no difference as such, but we get the clue from the environment about the truth. We are very much limited as an individual state of being, how much you can perceive. Your receiving of light, sound, smell, taste, and touch is limited. You cannot enormously receive light, sound, smell, taste, and touch. You have a limited capability. But when you interact with the environment, with the external world, and you be part of it, so there is no difference between you and the truth. That time you get the maximum access to truth. So these all interaction leads to enhancement of perception. And that comes as a byproduct of this inquiring journey, because when you are in inquiring journey, that time you are not only inquiring your state of being, but also the state of beings of the surrounding. So you transport mentally and understand the things. Then verbal communication also helps you to go deeper into the aspect. Are you able to comprehend so far?
Yeah, so the action part I'm clearly understanding, right? You kind of discuss, and it's more of, like, for you it's naturally happening, discussing with people, so it's an action. So I'm more looking at the resultant P2 P3 of this action which we are discussing now is an action. Then what triggers you to repeat the P1 again?
It is not a repeating. It is not at all a repeating, because it is fresh every time. When you are conversing live with people, it's every time it is unique and fresh. So it is not a repeating.
Point of view. For example, you want to kind of have the sessions, right?
Yeah.
So like, for example, if I'm coming to casually, calling you one day and then talking, is still a P1, nothing is planned, and you are discussing probably 2 hours or 30 minutes or even probably 2 minutes. That's a P1 without any intention. But if we set up a session, right, okay, next Saturday, Sunday, this is about this session. So then there should have been some P1, P2, P3 evaluation, and P3 to that session is coming, right?
Yes. Yes. P3 is that planning, that physical planning. P3, that deciding about a date where the availability could be there of people and all those stuff are coming from P3. But there is no attachment to it. If it doesn't occur, doesn't happen, it's also okay. That means there is no influence on the P2. So it's a physical planning.
Dynamically growing for you, I'm trying to understand, right? Maybe you started with, I'm just guessing, I don't know what. So maybe you started with one session in 3 months, and then probably it reduced more frequency, different cities.
It happened actually reverse. Like earlier, there used to be more session frequently, but somehow it now got reduced to in 3 months one. Now we are planning for next month also one online session, but it's very irregular. The pattern is emerging as an irregular that way, but it is the emergence. What you can do.
Okay. Got it. So they're relative to career. Somebody, for example, like they kind of, say, for example, it could be a carpenter, something they design, and then money is attached. So in that case, how you see it? The designs are the art they put, and then the art people put a price to that art, and then they create more. But the money is a sub product of this, but their intention is more on the art. If that's the case, how you consider?
See, putting a price and telling that money is not the goal is a dissonance.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Putting a price and telling that money is not goal. You are, in one hand, you are saying that this is the goal. Price is a goal. And on the other hand, you are denying that. No, my goal is not the price. How can it be possible? It starts with a dissonance. It starts with a contradiction, conflict.
Even say, for example, somebody is doing some work as a freelancing. Their mainstream is something, they do some freelancing, and they give it to charity. That money is still a goal. Giving to charity is a goal.
Yeah. Charity itself is highly questionable. It's actually facilitating the cat to catch the butterfly. So the moment we end up helping someone, we underestimate the capacity of that person in a big way.
And also we ourselves think that we are doing a great thing.
That's also another aspect, that we are in a state of authority who can help people.
But if suppose there is some amount of money which is being put into what you're doing,
Mhm.
and you're trying to get that back, how does that?
No, at the first place, see, this will become a very non-bothered investment, must be. Like if you are really interested in money, then the story would be something else. Then you have to price and you have to ROI needs to be calculated and all those stuff. But if you are in a journey of emergence, then you will see that ROI coming by default. Sometime it's not coming, but the ROI cannot be calculated. Or 5 minutes, 5 minutes or nahi beta. একটুখানি 10 মিনিট লাগবে আমার, তারপরে একটুখানি 10 মিনিট লাগবে, তারপরে সরি। So what I was saying,
Journey of emergence.
Getting the
Money put with the product.
yes,
even though
so if
that would be an effort taken.
yes, the ROI, the actual ROI, in true sense, the ROI is not limited to money. That's what we need to understand. It's money could be one part of it. And as an emergence, your needs, why one needs money? To fulfill the needs, to fulfill the want and desire. And when you are observing your desires doesn't have any importance. When you are aware of desire, you carry on with desire because of the unaware state. So that means whatever you need is very limited, and that need will be fulfilled in the group evolution. That's a concept of crowdfunding kind of. So the kind of commercial policy that we follow is the IV model, where we don't put a tag and explicitly we say that it is not free. Now it is out of the experience and understanding of the participant, they contribute. And the contribution is not limited to the money, but these questions are also contribution. You see, these questions are also contributions in the process. So now what we end up like, there is not a mass of people, but the people with whom we associate, there is a lifelong connection established. It's not that sell and go. It's not
So
a
in this,
kind of product.
the big thing that you're saying, Kalyan, is that a lot of times we think that when we are doing some work, we are thinking of what we are giving in it. But in whatever you are saying right now, a lot of it is about, in anything that we are doing, even if there is some some monetary compensation coming in, somewhere the overall looking has to be on what am I getting by doing it.
Yes,
By
yes.
doing
It
the
is,
action.
it is never only money that you get. So
Yes.
that understanding is very much important in choosing a profession or a career, so-called. So from external side, it may look like a career or a profession, but internally, how you are perceiving it? Is it something special initiative in life, or it's a life as a whole? What kind of values that you are perceiving in this journey? All these things will be considered. So I think few seconds are left, so we'll be
So Kalyan, if I have received something and I want to share it with people, so that also can be one desire, no? That I got so much out of it, so now I want to talk about it and tell people about it.
why? That one needs to ask. why do I want to do this? Why this want? So then we'll find the P3 image, bringing P2. So that desire, that's also a desire. We need to explore it, right? So we are again joining back at 3 and continue our conversation and exploration. Thanks all of you. Have good rest
you.
and join back. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.